President Trump couldn't get the $5 billion he wanted for a border wall from Congress, so now he wants to take money from the Defense Department.
The president would redirect money that was originally dedicated toward military construction projects. Some of those projects are right here in Hampton Roads. And investigative reporter Chris Horne has more on what exactly, Chris, could be affected.
Yeah, every fiscal year for the federal government starts October 1st, and so the DoD comes out with its construction plan. But this plan to fund the border wall goes far beyond the current fiscal year. We found out this afternoon that any military construction project that was authorized in the past 5 years and isn't already under contract would be vulnerable.
Step one would be identifying the projects that would be the bill payers for this.
Hampton Roads has several projects on the current military construction plan for fiscal year 2019. Dam Neck has nearly $40 million worth, including the expansion of an intelligence, surveillance, and recon facility. Langley Fort Eustis has an Air Force targeting center and a cyber ops facility planned, totaling $90 million. President Trump's plan to fund the border wall puts those projects at risk.
Those military departments would take a look at the projects that they have unobligated. So far, it's not under contract. They would do a prioritization, and something would be number one and something would be number last. And you would cut from the bottom.
Last year's plan included a small arms testing and evaluation center at Little Creek Fort Story, a ship repair training center in Portsmouth, and bachelor enlisted quarters in Yorktown. Any of those not under contract when it comes time to fund the wall would also be at risk.
We'd have to just to see how do things shake out in the court system over time.
Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring joined 15 other states in suing to block the diversion of military construction funds, calling the plan unlawful and the declaration of emergency fabricated. And Quigley says the legal battle over the plan means nothing will happen anytime soon. But in the meantime, military managers will look closely at projects they have on the books and determine what they could afford to let go if they need to. Chris Horne, 10 on your side.